Hello children and welcome to my channel Be Mathaholic. Here today I have come again with the revision series 2. In this continuation series I am going to discuss all the chapters, their key points and some self-assessment questions along with the case study based questions for you all. You all must be very curious to know what we have, and since you are going to appear for the board exams in the coming years to go, you must be having the curiosity of what sort of questions will be asked and whatever the things are going to have in the board exams. So here I am with the questions, of course, and the revision series. Now that you are there in class 10, everyone please keep a note that you have to be very careful, very attentive, and to just keep on solving the questions, make the concepts clear, keep the concepts clear, and keep the knowledge of class 9th mathematics also, because in 10th there are some repetitive parts which are carried over in class 10 also of class 9th. So here I go. I'm going to discuss here as I have written it over here. Please see to it. We'll be in today's video are going to have the discussions of important facts and points. Along with this, we are going to discuss the case-based questions and of course some assignment questions for you as the self-assessment part. So if you are ready, let's start with the video. Okay, so let's have the key points at first. So what all things you study in polynomials is, firstly, what the polynomial is all about. So I'm going to read the here the definition. It says an expression of the form px equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square up till an x to the power n. Now this is a general expansion of a general expression which is called as a polynomial expression, children. Here a0, a1, a2 are real numbers, okay, and this is having a degree n. Now degree, all of you must be aware of what is degree. It's the highest exponent, is called as the degree of a polynomial expression here. Now this is a general form of polynomial expression. Now these polynomials, what we are studying in this particular chapter is the different types of polynomials. One amongst these is actually a linear polynomial. Now teacher must have taught you, so I am going to have the repetition of this. A polynomial of degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. You all must be aware of this. The expression, the general expression of linear polynomial is given by px equal to ax plus b. Now here you can say the highest power of the variable x is 1, that is the degree is 1, that's why it is called a linear polynomial. And of course when we are going to have a sketch or if you are going to plot the graph of this particular linear expression, you are going to have a line. So that's how the word linear has come. That's why it is called as a linear polynomial. Now we come to quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial, of course, the degree of this polynomial is 2. That's why it is a quadratic polynomial. And when we talk about quadratic polynomial, the graph of this is going to be a open curve which is called as a parabola. So please do remember this term, parabola. Cubic polynomial, a curve which is having a degree 3 is called as a cubic expression or cubic polynomial. You will have a curve like this. You must be studying it and you must be having a look at the graph of cubic polynomial. And then we have a biquadratic. Now quadratic is 2, bi means also 2, so in all we have an expression which is comprising of 4th power polynomial expression, and here the degree is 4, that's why it is called as a biquadratic polynomial. Then in this chapter we are going to have a look at zeros of the polynomial. A real number alpha is called zero of the polynomial. Now it is, you must have studied the factor theorem and the remainder theorem. Any expression or any value which gives the value of the entire polynomial 0, that particular number is called as the zero of the polynomial. And here we are going to represent the 0 by the Greek letters alpha, beta, gamma and so on, depending upon the number of zeros or number of degrees a particular polynomial expression is having it. Then we also will be studying the relationship between the zeros and coefficients of quadratic as well as cubic polynomial. So when we talk about a quadratic polynomial, children, we often know that there are the number of degrees the polynomial expression is containing, that many number of zeros it contains. So if it is a quadratic polynomial, the degree is 2, therefore the at most number of zeros will be 2 over here, right? Similarly, if we have the quadratic polynomial, if it is of degree 3, then we will have the 3 zeros in this. So the relationship between the zeros is here, it is mentioned over here, you can see it here, that the relationship that is, it is called as the sum of the zeros is minus b upon a and product of the zeros is c upon a. Please do remember this. Along with this, children, in other case, if you are being asked to frame the quadratic polynomial, then please remember this expression, which is after substituting the sum of the zeros and product of the zeros. Sometimes they may give you directly, so you can substitute here, and in this particular expression you can make a polynomial. So we are going to have the questions based on this also, so we will discuss in the later half of this video. Now let's talk about the cubic polynomial. Here we are going to take one more Greek letter, which is called as gamma. So that is being spelled as G-A-M-M-A, gamma, and it is to be notified like this. One is alpha, this is beta, and this is gamma. So sum of the zeros is minus b over a, sum of product of the zeros is c upon a, and product of the zeros is minus d upon a. Now please keep a, you have to remember all these relationships of the quadratic as well as cubic polynomial. Again, when you know all these relationship between the zeros, you must also know that when to form a cubic polynomial, it's the reverse manner. As I said, when you are being asked to frame the cubic polynomial, then you will be using this particular formula to frame the cubic polynomial expression. So everyone please remember this formula also. Then also we also have to study division algorithm for polynomials. Now in division algorithm, children, what do we have it? We have the relationship in 9th standard, you have studied about this, that dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. When we talk about algebraic expressions, the same formula is applicable, but here we talk about fx, gx, qx and rx. In this we say rx, here r is denoting the remainder, g is divisor, this is quotient, and fx, px, any notation can be taken. This is acting as a dividend. So you know this relation, whatever is being specified here, the same is to be applicable over here. This is used to verify whether the given division of the algebraic expression is correct or not. You can use this formula to verify the division, and of course this is the necessary and sufficient condition which says degree of remainder is must be less than degree of the divisor, which is gx, and if the remainder is 0, there is no problem. But here also, and in this case, you know already what the here we are keeping a notation, and you have gone through the Euclid's lemma also, which is also specifying a equals to bq plus r, having this condition of r as greater than or equal to 0 and less than the divisor. The same condition is being put for algebraic expression also. So I hope you are just trying to correlate the things you have been studying already. So these all things, whatever I have discussed, the key points you must have studied in chapter 2. Now let's study the case study based questions. What type of questions you are going to face related to this particular chapter. Let's have a look. Now here you can see a figure is given here, and figure of a bridge here. A figure shows a bridge with hanging wire showing a mathematical shape. Now answer the questions below. Now you can see, you must have seen in real life also, these type of bridges are there in which the wires and the cables are being put in this manner. Okay, now children, just see it over here, that here what do we see, that I have just located it once again. I am going to show it over here the way it is here, which says that this is a parabolic shape video, isn't it? This is called as a parabola. This shape is called as parabola, right? Now here you can see I have marked some of the things over here. Now what all things are being depicted here? Please see to it that here whenever you happen to see such type of shape, this type of shape is called as a parabolic shape. What type of shape it is? It is called as a parabolic shape. Okay, so this type of parabolic shape is obtained when you have a quadratic polynomial. When you are going to plot the graph of a quadratic polynomial, then you are going to have the shape of a U-shaped curve is being formed. It is open upwards, sometimes it may be open downwards. So such type of curve is called as parabolic curve. Now the question says, name the shape of the hanging wires. Now this type of hanging wires, you know, what type of shape? Now just now I told you it is the shape which is called as a parabolic shape. You can see it over here. So this is a linear. Linear means related to line. Spiral. Spiral means it is a shape like this. You must have observed इस तरह से spiral बनता है. तो ये shape तो ये दिखा नहीं रहा है. Secondly, as I told you, this is a U-shaped curve, so it is a parabolic shape. Then we come to the ellipse. So elliptical shape is this. Okay. So none of the shape is matching except the parabolic shape. So the correct answer is parabola. Right. Next we come to this. What will be the expression of the polynomial shown in the figure? Now, as I told you, the parabolic shape is formed only when we have a quadratic polynomial, and general form of quadratic polynomial is given by ax square plus bx plus c. So this is the correct answer. Here also you can see ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is showing the cubic polynomial. So this will be ruled out. This will also be ruled out because it is a linear expression, will form a straight line. This option is not. This is the one which is valid option over here. Okay. Next, okay, let's see what all things have been given here. So here we have something which is being shown here. It is being in fact I have highlighted it to show you again. I'm going to show it over here how to do this here. So please see to it that the third question here says the hanging wires on the bridge is represented graphically. Zeros of the polynomial can be expressed graphically. Number of zeros of the polynomial is equal to number of points where the graph of polynomial intersects x-axis. Now अब ये पूछ रहे हैं कि इस क्वेश्चन में कि number of zeros आप कैसे find कर सकते हैं. Now number of zeros can be found. How can they be? They are equal to the number of points. अब कब होता है ये condition, कब आपको बताई जाती है? When the line or the graph or the curve intersects x-axis or y-axis or both the axes, none of the above. Now you know zeros can be found out, and zeros are in fact detected only when the curve is intersecting x-axis. Okay, so this will be the right choice. Then come to the fourth part here. The representation of hanging wires on the bridge whose sum of the zeros is -3 and product of the zeros is 5 is. Now children, I told you the expression already, that to find out the quadratic polynomial, earlier also I told you the formula and sort of thing. When you are being asked to find out the quadratic polynomial, this is the required relation where you can find the quadratic polynomial. So here sum of the zeros is -3, so let's substitute the value, and product of the zeros is 5, so just put 5 over here. It's a simple plus 5. So after solving, this will give you x square plus 3x plus 5. So which option is, do you think is correct in this? This is the one which is the correct option over here. Okay, because it is satisfying the given relation. So please be very careful when sum of the zeros is -3, so you have to just substitute so that it will become plus sign, and this is the right option. Sometimes instead of sum of the zeros and product of the zeros, children, you are given directly find the quadratic polynomial whose zeros are, you know, sometimes the question may be given whose zeros are 2 and 3. Now what does this mean? This means that this is alpha and this is beta. Okay, so in this the expression will change. You are supposed to substitute these zeros here in place of alpha beta. So the required polynomial will be x square. Now 3 plus 2 is 5. It will be minus 5x plus 3 2s are 6. So this is the required polynomial. So please be very careful and reading the question. If it is sum of the zeros, then directly you can substitute and put it in these two forms. And if the zeros word only comes instead of sum, they give you zeros are. So zeros means this is one will be alpha, another will be beta. So please be very careful. Two sorts of questions can be framed out of this. Then we have graph of a quadratic. Now this is again a repetition. Graph of a quadratic polynomial. You all know graph कैसे बनता है. Quadratic polynomial की बात हो रही है तो graph को कहते हैं parabolic shape graph. Okay, so the graph will be a shape of a U-shaped curve which is called as parabola. Okay, now again we have something over here which is depicting the shape of a parabola over here. Now what, see here, now this is in fact two types of curves you can say. As I told you earlier children, that the curve may be open upwards, the curve may be open downwards. So this is one example which here the curve is in a downward shape, okay. And remember, this type of curve we have it when we have the general polynomial expression of a quadratic polynomial is given by ax square plus bx plus c. So this a, b and c, what are these? Let's have a look at the question here. It says the figure shown above is an example of parabolic structure in the form of an arch. An arch takes the shape of a mathematical shape called parabola, which can be drawn graphically using a quadratic polynomial. The parabolic shape curve can be found in bridges, architectures. In real life incidents, you can find so many same structures. Now based on this, you have to answer the questions. The standard form of quadratic polynomial is given by this. We all know this. Here a, b, c are. Now here comes the concept actually. Now my advice is, please do read all the 4 options and then answer. Do not be in a hurry to answer if you know. As I said, a, b, c are all real numbers. Your teacher must have told you also about that. A, b, c are real numbers. But children, there is one thing which you have to take care of, and that is, if I say I am writing a quadratic polynomial like this, and if I say ABC is a real number, that is ABC, they belongs to the set of real numbers. That means if I put a equal to 0, then this will become bx plus c. So this term will become 0, isn't it? And you will have a, now what type of expression it is? It is a linear, it is no more a quadratic now. So please remember that sometimes in a hurry you may put and tick mark this real numbers as the right choice. But please do follow this, that we have one more option given here, that a should be always non-zero when it comes to quadratic polynomial, and b and c are real numbers. So it is also a real number, but it is a non-zero real number, especially a. Then b and c of course are all real numbers. So D option is the correct option. I hope you have understood this. Then we come to again this part of this question. Here you can see I have just explained it. I am going to explain it to you in a fairer manner so that you will be able to understand these questions nicely. So here we have the set of questions being given here. You can see if the sum of zeros of a quadratic polynomial is minus p and product of the zeros is minus 1 upon p, then the quadratic polynomial is. Now as I said, I have the, and you must know the standard formula is x square minus, this is the standard, where k is a constant. Sometimes they use k, it is not also required, but you can put it, k is some constant over here. So again, sum of the quadratic, same pattern children. So you just apply it over here, x square minus of this is minus p, you put minus p into x plus alpha beta is minus 1 upon p. So please do take care of the sign given here. This will be equal to k times x square plus px minus 1 over p. So which one is the correct option? X square plus px minus 1 over p. So this is the right option over here. Okay. So you have to apply the same formula which has been taken earlier also. The number of zeros in the polynomial is, now what do you see here children? As I said earlier, number of zeros depends upon the degree of the polynomial. So if here this polynomial is a biquadratic polynomial, so definitely it will have at most 4 zeros. So the answer is C. Now we come to the question, the graph of this intersects x-axis at 2 distinct points, either touches or intersects x-axis, neither touches nor intersects x-axis, touches x-axis. Now you might get stuck at this particular question. So let me tell you in an easier manner what should be the answer to this question. So if you get stuck at such question, please remember that write the polynomial in this form, let y equals to x square plus 1, and please see that you are taking this as a, try to get the coordinates of these points. Say suppose if I am putting x equal to 0, I will have the value of y as 1. 0 रख दीजिए, यहाँ पर y की value 1 आएगी. That means one coordinate I am going to have it at 0, 1. If I am putting x equal to 1 children, I will have y equals to 2. So another pair of coordinate will be 1, 2. Similarly, if I am going to put x equal to, say suppose I am putting minus 1. So minus 1 whole square will be plus 1 and 1 will be 2 again. So roughly if you are going to plot the graph of this children, you just see one pair of coordinate is 0, 1, somewhere over here it is going to be marked. Then the other pair of coordinate will be 1, 2. X is 1, y will be 2 somewhere here, right? And then the other x is minus 1, that means somewhere here, y will be 2 again, the point will lie here. So when you are going to join the points, what do you see? What do you see looking at the graph when I have plotted it roughly? That this, out of these options, which one is satisfying here? That this curve is neither touching nor intersecting the x-axis. So the C option will be the right option. Have you understood? So if you happen to get stuck at some point, do not hesitate in plotting the graph roughly, choosing few points so that you will have the rough idea of what type of graph it will have, and you will be able to answer the question correctly. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now let's move to the next question. The downward inverted parabola. Now again here, children, please remember that when we talk about a quadratic polynomial, we often have one condition which you have to remember here, and that says that when the general form of quadratic is ax square plus bx plus c. And of course ABC, since I told you A is a non-zero number, real number, B and C are also real numbers, so there is a possibility that you get one more pattern of quadratic polynomial like this. Okay, now children, remember, if the coefficient of x square, that is A, if it is greater than 0, you will have the curve which is open upwards. Okay, when the coefficient of x square is negative, that is A is less than 0, then you will have a downward parabola. So the same thing is being asked over here. The downward parabola as shown satisfies the condition A is less than 0. So remember this, everyone, so that you will be able to answer such pattern of questions thoroughly. Then we have the next third case study based question. It says that here you can see over here that what do you see, that here this curve is given, a polynomial curve is given. Now this type of curve is also being discussed with you, must have been discussed with you. Now the question says the number of zeros. Now you have to carefully observe the graph here, because the coordinates are also mentioned. The question might come from this also. So the number of zeros of the polynomial. Now as you know, the curve is intersecting the x-axis, especially x-axis you have to observe, at 3 distinct points. So the number of zeros of this polynomial will be 3. So this type of curve you will be able to plot when you will have a cubic polynomial equation. Okay, the next question says y equal to fx represents a dash polynomial. Now as I said, 3 zeros are being located. So what type of polynomial will it be? Cubic. Okay. Then the coordinates where the curve intersects the x-axis. अब यहाँ पर coordinates they are asking. So you know, this one is one coordinate minus 2, 0, and this point is the origin, so it will have the coordinates 0, 0 followed by 2, 0. So you have 2, 0, minus 2, 0 and 0, 0. C option is the correct choice. I hope you have understood. I have taken 3 different case study based questions and the concepts are very much clear, and you have understood how to answer these questions. Okay. Now in the next slide I am going to give you a self-assessment test where you have to test yourself looking into the conditions I have given you. These questions might be there asked for 1 or 2 marks, and you have to equally answer these pattern of questions. So please go through all 4 types of questions in this and try to solve and get the correct answer. Most probably you will be able to do it, I believe, and I hope you will be able to get the correct answers. The next slide shows the, so I have chosen 10 set of questions. Number of questions are 10 here, and along with the answers. So please verify the answers are being given here. Everyone to please solve it, get the answers verified and write your comment in the comment box. So I hope and believe you will be able to solve them quickly and get good marks, and you will be thoroughly solving chapter 2 whenever it is asked in the test or exams. My all good wishes. Keep watching my video Be Mathaholic, my channel Be Mathaholic, and the number of videos, because I am going to have the test series, revision series of course, for all the chapters of your class, along with a pattern of questions which are going to be be having in the forthcoming exams. So thank you so much.